John did his first test ride on Saturday, which went really well. He bossed it. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about how that ride went and also how the recovery is going, because that was an important thing that we wanted to monitor before looking a little bit about the next week. For the ride itself, it went really well. John himself noticed a few things, one of them just being a general fatigue in the last sort of quarter to a third of the ride. But as he pointed out, a lot of that was uphill.
It's obviously in the head, although I'm getting cramp. I can keep going. You can always do one more pedal stroke.
I had expected him to start to feel tired towards the end of the ride in any case, and overall my feeling is that the fatigue was less than I expected, and he certainly seemed okay afterwards, although we were careful to make sure that he got plenty of rest as soon as he'd finished the rides and into the Sunday as well. So overall, my take on this is that this looks really promising. It looks really good in terms of his ability to do the longer distances. In terms of recovery, that is taking some time. So it's important for us to make sure that we continue to prioritise John's recovery so that he's recovered enough for his next test ride in a few weeks' time. So any sort of harder training that he may manage to do in between then and now would be considered more of a bonus rather than something that he's got to do. The main thing that he needs to do is recovery and get the benefit of the fitness from the ride so he can do the next one. Off the back of that, you'll see that in actual fact for this Wednesday, there were some intervals, the lighter interval session planned as per the EBR cycling plan, which he did attempt. I was quite surprised that he attempted it given some of the things that he'd been saying, but he did attempt it, and he did 4 of the reps and then decided to call it a day. And sometimes that's a good call. It's a good call to just try it and see, and if things aren't feeling right, then just stop and either ride easy or just stop altogether and decide that you just need a bit more recovery. So that's what John's done today. I mentioned last week that things are a little bit more complicated for John over the next couple of weeks. I won't be here. So John will have the task of walking our dog Fernand as well. And while walking isn't necessarily very tiring at the time, it all adds to your fatigue. It is cumulative, and especially for John with his hip and his ankle, while he might not necessarily feel like he's doing very much, he's putting pressure on things that have a tendency to seize up if they're not happy. So the main thing at the moment is just monitoring John's recovery. I'm still showing some signs of fatigue. Looking forward to seeing how that goes and making some notes on that so that we can really optimise these things for next year and for the longer term. Okay, so looking forward to seeing how the next week and a half goes, and we'll keep you posted on John's recovery and progress.